everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie Colours. Thank you for joining me. I am doing a little colour along again today. I know I'm getting braver, I'm starting to do a few more. So I had a request to do a colour along in a Lulu Mayo book, and I have a Million Sloths, which is uncoloured for me, and I've arranged a buddy colour with the lovely Katie from the Colouring Angel in this book. So the page we're doing is the cute little teapots page here, and I have kind of planned out some colors roughly. So this is the color palette I'm going for here. So kind of blues, a little splash of yellow and some greens, and then the browns for the sloths. And then I was just kind of testing out some pastels here that I want to use. So I wanted to use kind of like reddish browns for the background, because I thought that would contrast quite nicely with the blues and the teals that I'm using. I want to keep it fairly light, so I'm going to start with the background. This always makes me so nervous because I'm never quite sure how it's going to turn out. I'm just going to go and grab a few things that I need to get started, and then we'll dive in. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is to kind of mask off this side of the page so that I don't get pastel all over this side as well. So I've just got some kind of masking tape here that will unroll for me. And I'm just going to pop that down on this side. Just, oh goodness, if I can do it. Just to mask off that other page. Get that right down into the, there we go, that's better. Just to do that. And then I'm also just going to put a little bit along here where the kind of, I guess it's a table, the tabletop starts, so that I can cover that bit up as well. This is really handy stuff. It's actually from Happy Doodle, who I used to work on their design team. That's a stamp and die company from the UK. Unfortunately, they have stopped trading now, which is such a shame because they were a really great company and I used to love all of their products. This, yeah, masking tape was really cool. Okay. So just masked off that little bit. I'm not going to worry about the picture itself, because the great thing about pastel is it's quite easy to clean off. I have a couple of cotton pads here. This is what I like makeup remover type cotton pads, and I've seen this trick done by Elm Colors, so I thought I would kind of emulate her. I am going to get, I've got a backer sheet here, but it's a bit small, and I'm going to get a larger one just while I'm doing the pastel work. Shove that one in there just so that I don't get it all over the back of the other pages in the book as well, because it can be a little bit messy using pastels. Right, so I've decided I'm going to try and use some kind of, so I'm sorry, trying to remember to show you everything. Fold it in half and then half again, and kind of keep my finger in the middle there just to get a little bit of a point here. And I've decided to use some kind of reddish browns, kind of bricky kind of colors. I'm hoping it's going to work. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of rub over that so I get a little bit of color. I'm going to go and I'm going to try and go in quite gently, not too dark, and just kind of blend that up a little bit. So with the leaves and things, I'm probably just going to go straight over them because I'm going to use an eraser later to kind of erase any color that I've got on there. I'm kind of going to keep it a little bit lighter in the center. At least that's the plan. I'm hoping this is going to work. Like I say, a little bit nervous about doing this. I decided to use pastels because I've heard that watercolors, like watercolor mediums, don't work great in some of Lulu's books. And this is one of her older books, and I feel like it's probably one of the ones that is going to struggle a little bit. So yeah, I just decided to use pastels instead and hope for the best. Okay, so I've kind of done that little corner there. I'm going to do, and again, don't worry too much if it goes over the picture, because it will rub off quite easily with an eraser. So I'm kind of just doing a little bit of darker color in the corners, and my plan is to kind of have the inside be a little bit lighter, just kind of a little bit down the edges as well. I did notice when I pulled my book out, I don't know if you can see it on camera, I've got slight yellowing at the top of my pages. So I think it's just because I've had this book for quite a while, even though it's untouched. So perhaps it's just been kind of sitting around for a while. I do keep my books away from the sun, so I'm not sure if it's sun damage, but perhaps it was kind of damaged slightly before I got the book. I didn't notice it before. It's not terrible. I don't think it's massively noticeable. And once I add a background in, you won't really see it. Okay. I feel like that's okay. Let's add a little bit more up here. And the great thing about pastel as well is that you can kind of build it up if you want to. Just start out quite lightly, and then you can deepen the color by just adding more and more on top if you want to get the shade that you're after. Okay, so I feel happy with that kind of bit. I'm going to come in with a slightly lighter color, so I'm just going to kind of fold my thing over and grab another color. This is quite it's quite a terracotta-y shade. Let's see how it goes. It's a bit more orangey than the other one, which was definitely a bit more of a redder tone, but I'm hoping it will work okay. I'm just going to pull that in a little bit. And like I said, I'm not trying to go around any of the details of the plants or anything, because I think it would be too difficult, and it will rub off. So I've got a bit dark there. I need to try and smooth that out a bit. I want it to kind of look like it's got a bit of texture in it anyway, so it'll have darker patches and lighter patches. That's okay. Kind of makes it look like it's got a bit of, like a normal wall would have. It would have kind of different bits on it. Deepen up this area at the top here. I don't feel like the pastel is sticking very nicely to that upper area. I don't know why. Whether it's got something on it that's stopping it, I'm not sure. But anyway, and then I'm going to finish off with, let's see, what can I use? I'm going to try this color, I think. It's kind of, I don't know what color that is. It almost looks apricot-y. We'll see. I hope it's not too yellow. Okay, yeah, no, I think that will work. That works. You can see this is such a quick way of adding a background as well, because it's just really quick and simple. And there we have pretty much a full background done on that bit. Am I happy with that? I think I am. I think I'm happy with it. Okay, I wanted to do the kind of ground area as well. I'm going to keep that one down there for now. If I put this down, is it going to lift the pastel off this bit? Try it and see. Hopefully it'll be okay. Okay, so I don't know what color to do that, but I was debating going with similar colors, but I want it to look separate. So do I go in with a, I'm gonna play it safe and go in with just kind of some different shades of browns, I think. And we'll see. We'll see. Worst case scenario, I can always rub it out and do something else. I'll start with a light layer of this kind of like a clay color. I really don't. I don't want to draw too much attention to the background anyway. I want it to be quite soft because I want the main features to be the teapots, really, and of course the little sloths. So I don't want to add too much color to this part of the page. I think I will just go in with like maybe a browner color. Let's get another. Let's see. Try this. It's kind of really brown. I have to go quite softly with that. And that up to the top. Maybe a little bit underneath to look like a bit of a shadow under the teapots. Again, it's going to look a bit messy at the moment because obviously it's gone over the lines and all sorts, but I'll tidy that up in a sec and hopefully it will smooth out. Okay, I don't know how that's going to look. Is it going to look too samey? It does kind of look quite samey, doesn't it? Does it look okay? I think I'm going to leave it at that for now, and then if I feel like it's too, if I need to add something else, I could always add some pencil over the top of this area to kind of make it stand out a little bit more, but I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that's okay for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my electric eraser, which needs a new eraser piece on it, and I'm going to clean up the areas that I've gone over, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've cleaned up most of that. I haven't bothered too much about the leaves because I feel like I can cover over it quite easily, and what is left of the pastel I should be able to cover over with the pencils. So I'm going to dive in and start colouring the elements on the page, and I'm going to start with this teapot at the back here, and I'm going to do that in some blue colours. So let me pull them out. I'm using my Artex pencils today. Just thought that would be a nice change. I've got them all in this little pencil pot here, so I'm just pulling out the ones that I need for the blue. I think that's it. So I have French ultramarine, I have manganese blue, I have light cerulean blue, and this one is pastel blue. So these are the dark blues I'm going to use. So I'm going to start with that darkest one. I think I'll just start with the kind of spout of the teapot here. So that's all in frame for you. And yeah, just add some colour in and hope it goes well, which is what I generally do with a page. Keep my fingers crossed and hope that it works out okay. Yeah, I just thought, I don't know why I went for this colour palette. I just couldn't get past having this as a yellow teapot. It just really, I don't know why, but it was stuck in my head that it had to be a yellow teapot. So yeah, so I kind of based everything else around that and pulled out some blues and turquoises and some nice greens and then some browns for the sloth. So it's called quite a, I guess, complementary color palette. And I wanted the background to kind of contrast a little bit with it. So that's the reason why I kind of went for those reddish orangey tones to try and help everything else in the foreground kind of stand out a little bit. I'm hoping it will work. I never quite know. But yeah, I haven't used my Artex pencils for a little while either, so I figured I would give them a go. Pull them out for this page. Oh, I'm always too hard. I go way too hard with my pressure. and my pencils break. I'm terrible. Even when I'm trying to be soft, I'm not. And if anybody else suffers with that as much as me, I need to learn to relax my grip a little bit, I think. A little bit of white space to add that lightest colour in, which is the pastel blue. That little bit of a sweep away. Oh, there we go again. Broke another one. Told you I'm terrible. Okay. I think that colour combination is quite nice though. I think that works quite well. I've done that a little bit. I'm just going to go back in with this mid-tone, try and smooth that out a bit. Okay, and just fix up those areas there. Okay, let's figure out how I'm going to tackle this. I think kind of my light source is kind of almost coming directly from above, so I think I'll shade the sides and the bottom and hope for the best. I never quite know how to approach the shading side of things. I try and think about light sources. It doesn't always happen. Yeah, try and make it work. I think this is going to be a fun page when it's done, and I'm happy to be starting a page in this book because, like I say, it has been sat on my shelf for a long, long time, untouched, and I really needed to do something in it. So I was really thankful when I'd say Katie from the colouring. It's not Katie, it's Nikki from Knick Knack Colours. Sorry, telling you the wrong person. I'm doing this as a buddy colour with Nikki from Knick Knack Colours. So I have got a buddy colour with Katie from the Colouring Angel, but it's not in this book. Yeah, Nikki reached out, and we have been doing quite a few buddy colours in Johanna Basford's Small Victories, and I kind of felt like something a little bit different. So I suggested a Lulu Mayo book, and initially I was going to do like a Million Mermaids because obviously it's mermaid, but Nikki didn't have that one, so I said, well, what about a Million Sloths, because I haven't touched it yet and I could do with doing a page in this book. And she said, yeah, got that one, let's do it. So I chose 3 or 4 pages and sent them over to her, and she chose to do this one, and I think it's super cute, so I'm really happy about that. I am doing this for my own hashtag, which is Colour the Fairy Tales May 2025, and the fairy tale of the month is The Little Mermaid, but one of the prompts is sea life, so I figured that the whales within the little teapot work as sea life, so it will work for that prompt. So it's only a tiny element on the page, but it still works. I'm finding it really hard to do this without moving the book around. So normally when I colour, I move the book around all over the place to try and get the best angle to approach each element with, but obviously filming it, I need to keep it in one spot so you can all see what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm finding it quite difficult. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going in now with the manganese blue. I've got this here to stop me putting my grubby hands all over the pastel and like moving it around, and I keep forgetting to use it. So I hope you are all enjoying your colouring at the moment. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you're working on. I'd love to find out. I doubt I'm going to get all of this done in one sitting. I have got a rush off soon, unfortunately, but I just thought I'd make a start and at least try and get the background done, maybe get a few other bits done. But yeah, I'm not going to have long to spend on this. I'll try and get this teapot done, and then I'm probably going to have to shoot off and finish filming at a later point, later stage. I kind of try and grab colouring time when I can, and sometimes it might only be like 20 minutes here and there, but it all adds up and eventually you get a finished page. So yeah, you kind of take it while you can. So yeah, sometimes it's not easy for me to sit down and film a big chunk of stuff because I've got to rush off and do other things. But yeah, we'll work through it in little bits. And it will all be instantaneous for you anyway, so it won't matter, will it? I like that blue. It's pretty. I think it does pop off the background quite nicely, so I think that's going to work. I wanted this kind of I didn't use a color cube or anything. I do quite often use the Sarah Renee Clark color cubes to plan out my pages and think of color palettes. I didn't do that this time. I did have a look through. I couldn't find anything that quite like what I was looking for, which is ridiculous considering how many color palettes there are in those color cubes. But I just couldn't find anything quite the right color combination that I wanted. So I ended up kind of just winging it a little bit. I had a rough idea of what I wanted. So yeah, I kind of just put some colors together and played around with them, and yeah, it seemed to work okay. So I'm hoping it's going to turn out okay. Like I'm going everywhere with this blue. That's okay, we can clean it off. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with that light cerulean blue and kind of pull that out even further. Yeah, like I said, I hadn't used my Artex pencils for a little while, so I felt like they needed an outing. needed to be used. So I thought it was a good idea to pull them out, and they seem to have all the colors that I wanted. I'm not very good at mixing my pencil brands on the same page. I should do that more often because I know that I'd have, like a much better selection of pencils, but I just have this kind of mental block where I've got to use the same brand of pencils on the same page. Let me know if you feel like that as well. I don't know why. I don't know. I do think sometimes I suffer a little bit from a little bit of OCD. Like it kind of grates on me to think of using different pencil brands. I don't know. Really don't know why. But yeah, I tend to just use one type of pencil on one page. Very occasionally I have mixed. Or I'll do things like with my Color pencils. I've got the Color Macrons and I've got the Color 300 set. So I will use those together. But they're kind of the same pencils, and they are just from slightly different sets. But yeah, I have a bit of a mental block with trying to mix pencil brands. I don't know why. It just kind of, yeah, like I say, it's a weird thing. I need to get over it because it would probably make life a lot easier if I could access all the different pencil brands to make a page, color a page. But Hey ho, what are you going to do? I'm just trying to get my blends nice and smooth. I'm not sure that I've succeeded particularly well. It's not too bad. You can see that okay on camera. So I hope you're all enjoying lovely spring weather now. That's May, and hopefully you've got over all of the worst of the rain and the wind and the kind of funny cold spells that come in between moving to summer. Here in the UAE, we are starting to reach temperatures of 40, 43, 44. Yeah, Celsius, that is, not Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's starting to get really warm here. Yeah, it's the time of year that is a bit of a struggle. Like we start getting into June, will be even worse. Thankfully, the humidity has remained quite low so far. So when we start getting into summer, we normally get like high humidity as well, which I know a lot of people don't really associate with desert countries like the one I live in. But yeah, we do get really high humidity, and I can handle the heat. Like I don't mind heat. I really just don't like the humidity. That's really what gets me is when it's like 45 degrees Celsius and 80% humidity. It's like, yeah, you just literally walk out the door and you are drenched. It just feels like you've walked through a shower. Um, so spending time outside is not advisable, and yeah, just not easy to do in this kind of temperature. But the UAE is well geared up for living in this kind of climate, and most things are indoors with air conditioning. And yeah, I do try and go out for a walk every day, and I try and go out quite early in the morning so it's not as hot. But yeah, it can be a little bit of a struggle. Oh, it was kind of like there was like a darker bit in my pencil there. So yeah, the heat is here. The hot has come. Always reminds me of that Game of Thrones thing, you know, where they say winter is coming. Yeah, here in the UAE we say summer is coming. You know? Yeah, and it's can be very very hot. But like I say, it's well geared up for it. Okay, I think that's not too bad. I feel like that's okay. This kind of this one I kind of wanted to definitely sit more in the background. I want this kind of the yeah this one that I'm going to do yellow. I really want that one kind of to pop a little bit more off the page. I'm hoping it's going to work the way. I never quite know whether my plans are going to come to fruition. I don't know, you know, like I look at a page and I see it how I want it, and I do my best to achieve that, but it doesn't always happen. Yeah, there's just no knowing. I think most of my pages turn out okay, but I don't think any of them are masterpieces. Um, but it's all about having fun, which I do. So that's the main thing. And as I say, I'm growing in confidence. I'm getting more confidence with my colouring, and feel a little bit more confident so that I can do these colour alongs. I don't think I haven't done very many on my channel. I really am going to try and do more because I do feel like it's something that people like to see. And I think for the next one that I do, I'll probably do a vote on like 3 or 4 pages, and you can choose which one you'd like to see. So that will be fun. And it gives you a chance to kind of interact a little bit more with me as well. It's always lovely to hear your comments and yeah, just kind of chat with you on here. If you leave comments after my video, I always try and respond to all of them. On Instagram, same thing. I always try and respond. Yeah, it's just nice to have that kind of sense of community. And I do try and keep up with all of that. I think probably occasionally I would miss things. I don't do that intentionally. It's just sometimes it doesn't kind of, comments or things don't pop up where I think they should be, or I think they're going to be. So I don't always look everywhere, but yeah, I do try and reply to everybody who takes the time to watch my videos and send messages. It really does mean a lot to me, because I know, like I know myself how difficult it is to keep up with all your favorite colorists on YouTube, because I struggle to watch everybody's videos that I want to watch. There's just not enough hours in the day. And like, whereas now, if I'd normally be doing this page, I would maybe have some YouTube videos going in the background while I was doing it, but obviously I can't do that while I'm filming. So yeah, I do appreciate people taking the time to watch and leave comments and interact, and yeah, it's all good. Okay. All right, I'm feeling quite good about that so far. I feel like my blending's not perfectly smooth, but it's okay. It's one thing I have found with the Artex pencils. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and hold it up for you. But every now and then you get like a darker spot, or a kind of hint of a colour that's not there. So just in there, hopefully that's going to pick up on the camera. The pencil kind of came out a lot darker than it did in all the other areas. So you get a bit of a darker patch. I don't think it's too noticeable, but yeah, it's one of the kind of things that you find a little bit with budget brand pencils, that you do get that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? The lack of homogeny in the pencil. But yeah, there's kind of like, it's almost like the lead hasn't been, the colors in the lead haven't been mixed thoroughly enough, and that when they set, they don't there are streaks of other color in there. I hope that made sense. But anyway, I am going to have to leave it there because I do have to shoot off, but I will come back and finish the rest very soon, and hopefully this page will come together nicely. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Thank you. Hi everybody, so it is the next day for me, probably like a second for you, and I'm here ready to carry on with our Lulu Mayo page. I am going to tackle this teapot next. So as I said before, I really wanted to do this yellow. I don't know why, it just kind of popped in my head that the teapot had to be yellow, so that's what I'm going for. So I am going to use my, continuing with my Artex pencils. I have Sunburst Yellow, I have Canary Yellow, I have Light Yellow, and Cream. So those are the four colours I'm going to use for the yellows. And yeah, let's just dive in, see how this goes. I'm hoping it's going to look okay. So I'm going to start with the darker one and kind of add in some shadows where I think they need to go. So probably all the way down the side. Yeah, so I don't know why I went for yellow. It just popped into my head that it needed to be a yellow teapot. And sometimes I'm, like I have ideas like that and I just cannot get rid of them. So yellow teapot it is. So we're going to see how it works out. Hope for the best. Yeah. I don't know if you're like that. If you just see a page and you're like, I know it just has to be that color. Yeah, I do sometimes get that. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I really struggle. I look at a page and it takes me forever to kind of think of a color scheme and what I'm going to do. Yeah, sometimes it comes really quickly. So it just depends. A lot of the time I'll use color palettes to help me choose colors so that I can figure out what's going to work together. And yeah, I find that really helpful tool, using the color palettes, because yeah, you can really see what colors are going to look good together. So I do regularly use color palettes, be it ones that I kind of find on Pinterest, be it Sarah Renee Clark color cubes, be it I've got a little book as well. I think it's called Practical Color Combinations. We've got that little book. So yeah, and sometimes even just looking at those things really helps to kickstart the kind of creative process and kind of help me think of the kind of thing that I want. And maybe I don't need to use the color palette in its entirety, but it kind of gives me a starting point, if that makes sense, so that I can figure out where to go from there. So even if I don't necessarily use the color palette, it just kind of gives my brain a little bit of a starting point, which is great. So yeah, color palettes are great. A great resource. If you've been kind of thinking about getting the Sarah Renee Clark color cubes, I do highly recommend them. I know that they are an expense. I know that they're not cheap, but I do use mine regularly. Even if you just get because there's two versions. You can get a digital version. So even if you just want to use that, it helps. I've got the digital and the kind of physical box version, and I use both. I do like to have the physical kind of cards because it just, I don't know, seeing them in person and kind of being able to use the cards to hold up against like swatch charts and things, I find really, really helpful. But yeah, and I know that Karen from My Colourful Country Life is coming out with a kind of website where she's going to have all sorts of like color combinations, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think that's going to be quite interesting. Quite excited about that. Quite excited to see how that's going to pan out and what that's going to look like. So definitely keep an eye out for that when it comes. I think she said it'll be kind of around. I was going to say summertime. It's not summertime for everybody. Around kind of July, August. That is hopefully going to be launched. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that because I think that's going to be pretty amazing. I often use, Karen has her color combinations. She's doing that for different pencil brands, and I think that's going to be part of the website when it's launched. So she has like color combinations for Prismas, for polychromos. I think she's got some. I don't know what the other one was. It's Artex pencils. Anyway, she's got color combinations, and I often refer to those when I'm coloring to help me choose pencils. Not always, because sometimes I do kind of just like to think of it myself, but yeah, she has those. They're available to use, and they are really, really helpful. So yeah, if you struggle, some people are just really good at coloring up with color combinations. I use tools to help me, and I often get told that my color combinations are really lovely, and I always appreciate that comment. But yeah, it's because I use tools like that to help me come up with the color combinations that it works. In this case, I haven't. I've kind of winged it a little bit, so I'm hoping it's going to work. I think it will, but yeah, you never know. But yeah, if you want a kind of guaranteed way of coming up with decent color combinations, then some of those tools are really, really helpful, and I do highly recommend them. But you can get like free things on Pinterest, and yeah, use those. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking the nice bright yellow. Yeah, pops. I really like it. I like bright colors. I tend to be drawn more to doing pages with brighter colors. I do try and vary it a little bit. I try and, do other things as well, but this is like my happy place is nice, bright, bold colors. So yeah, I do like to do pages like this. Some people like do really well with kind of more muted, kind of natural looking colors, like earthy tones, and yes, some people can do some amazing, amazing colors. One that really springs to mind is, I never know if I'm saying this right, it's Kathy Malt. It's spelled KAETHE.malt on Instagram. If you search her up, she does some amazing kind of like really natural looking muted kind of color palettes, but they turn out so beautifully. Yeah, really stunning. Do you know when you see some colorists and you think, wow, that's what I want to be when I grow up? Yeah, her pages are beautiful, and she does use a lot of kind of more muted, like, I think browns and greens and kind of dusky blues and dusky pinks, and they just turn out so wonderfully. But yeah, I have to say that my happy place tends to be brighter colors. Yeah, nice, bright, vivid colours. That's more me, I think. So yeah, it's what I like to colour with. But I am always kind of like, wow, when I see some other colourists do what they do with kind of more muted palettes. Okay, kind of liking how this is coming out. I don't know what I'm going to do with the flowers yet. I'm gonna see how this goes, and then I'll think about the flowers. My initial thoughts are I'm going to do them a turquoise blue color, which is the same color that I'm going to do the water inside the teapot. So that's my initial kind of leaning at the moment. And then I'm not sure about the flowers on this one. I was thinking maybe doing them yellow, but then I don't know if that's going to be too much yellow. I don't really want to introduce too many other colors on the page. I could leave them white and just do a little bit of shading on them. I feel like, I don't know, I'm gonna maybe do some other elements on the page first, and then see how I feel about the colors for the flowers, because I'm not 100% sure. And sometimes that's what I'll do, is just like if I really don't know what to do, I always start with the things that I know, the colors that I know where to place, so like I knew I wanted a blue teapot and a yellow teapot, so I knew I'd start with those things because they were the things that I really knew where I wanted them. The background I was a little bit unsure about, but I wanted to do the background first because I knew I wanted to use chalk pastels, and I wanted to be able to erase them from areas once I'd laid them down, so I didn't want to leave them till the end because I figured it would be a bit trickier to erase them. So I did start with the background, but I can always add something to the background if I feel like it's lacking a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to start with it as is, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm trying to be relatively light-handed with these pencils. I'm hoping you can see, because I know yellows are notoriously difficult to see on camera, especially pale yellows like the ones I'm using in the center. I hope you can see. I'm just going in, for me, a fairly light hand. Like I say, I'm not very good with going light-handed. I tend to be quite heavy-handed, but I'm doing my best to lighten up the pressure a bit. Okay, sorry, my apologies. I got interrupted there. Trying to think where I was up to. This colour, I think. Yeah, so and I've completely lost my train of thought about what I was talking about. I think we just kind of got to the end of the conversation about color palettes and how useful I find them. But yeah, it's a tool that I highly recommend because it can really make life easier for you when you're trying to think of how to approach pages and what colors will go well together and how they'll work. So yeah, definitely a tool that I don't mind investing in a little bit. So talking about investing in things, I've just yeah, I've kind of tried to stop myself from buying more colouring books. Now that hasn't been totally successful because I haven't gone. I've got a little looks like I've got a little bit of blue pencils across there. Let me just try and erase that off a little bit. Just make sure my eraser is clean. Yeah, I haven't been particularly successful in my no buying colouring books thing that I was trying to do. I have been a little bit more reserved with what I purchase. So I am thinking more carefully about colouring books and whether or not I actually need them. Well, not need them because I don't need any colouring books, but I want them. Maybe I need them for my mental health. Maybe that's the way I should word it. But you know what I mean? I don't need any colouring books, but I have been a little bit more considered about what I'm actually going to colour and what things I actually really think that I could approach and do at least a couple of pages in. I don't mind having colouring books that I literally just flick through and get pleasure from looking at the pages and thinking about all the possibilities. I think that's a pleasure in itself. You know, the colouring is one thing. I really enjoy the colouring, but even just looking through the colouring books and having all those possibilities presented to you, and that's kind of nice. And I like that aspect of it. So I'm not necessarily saying, you know, I can't have books that you know, have plenty of uncolored pages, and most of my books are like that. Let me go over to this bit over here. But yeah, I would like to try and color at least a couple of pages in each of my books if possible. I am making dents in my untouched coloring book collection. It is slowly starting to reduce, despite buying more. But yeah, I would like to kind of at least have one or two pages in each book coloured if possible. So I am trying to be a little bit more considered when I think about buying colouring books and not just kind of dive in. Especially like I do feel like there can be a little bit of peer pressure on like Instagram and YouTube when you see other colorists getting books and you think, oh wow, I need it. It's that fear of missing out, isn't it? I don't know, maybe you don't feel like that, but I often do. I'm like, oh, I need that book, and I don't really because I have plenty already, and the likelihood is that if I keep buying more, I'm never going to be able to get to them all. So I am trying to be a lot more considered and measured. So, for example, I'm taking the time, like I'll put something in my Amazon cart, and I will think about it for a while, and look at flip throughs and really think about whether or not it's something that I will want to pull out, because I have certain colouring books that I want to work in all the time, and then other colouring books that I'm kind of like a bit meh. So I'm trying to be a little bit more considered. I hope that's making sense. And, and I knew like the new mythographic, I was a little bit kind of like, do I need another mythographic? I've got lots of uncolored mythographics. Am I just buying it because it's a mythographic and it's Joseph Kappenbang, and you know I don't want to miss out, and I really feel like I need to keep collecting them all? Or is it a book that I'm really going to actually want to color? So I didn't rush out and pre-order. It's still on pre-order here. I think it's only just kind of like come off pre-order, and they're saying it's going to be shipped, but it's coming from the States, so it's going to take like 2 weeks or something. I still haven't had a shipping notification about mine. I don't know what to do. Anyway, back to the original story. I kind of thought about it for a long time, and I waited until other people started getting their copies. I looked at flip throughs. I then kind of went away, thought about it a bit more, went back and looked at other flip throughs, and I was like, actually, this is a really cool book, and it's something that I can see myself colouring, and I would really like it. So I did buy it. But yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit more considered, whereas before I would have just gone, oh yes, Joseph Cadenbang, it's a mythographic, I'll have it. I am trying to be a little bit more considered about how I approach buying colouring books and not just dive in and grab it straight away. So I am being a little bit more careful. But what I was trying, I think the original point of this whole story was that I'm not being so careful about supplies. So I've gone like, oh man, I've gone from buying all the colouring books. Now I'm buying all the supplies. So I ordered some new pencils. I don't need any new pencils. I ordered some new pencils last night. I ordered some Woomers because I've heard amazing things about them, and I've kind of been like, oh, I should get those, and I've put it off and put it off, and then I was like, no, I'm just going to get them. I'm just going to get them. So I ordered them last night, and then I also ordered the Artistro pencils last night. I hadn't seen those before, and they kind of popped up, and they were about the same price as the Woomers. And I was like, well, you know, I might as well. So they're both 72 sets of pencils. I really don't need any more pencils, but it's like I've given up one buying thing for another. So instead of buying books, I'm now buying supplies. I'm not sure either is particularly healthy. I really don't need any more. I'm running out of room for everything. But yeah, it's like I can't help myself. So but yeah, I'm going to have to stop very soon. Well, you know, I really don't need anything else. I have this kind of fear though that I'm going to like run out of pencils. Like I'm going to be, you know, stuck without pencils. I don't know. Wouldn't that be a nightmare? But anyway, so I need to stop, but I can't help myself. Okay, I've done the teapots. I quite like how that yellow one turned out. I think it's looking quite nice. Yeah, what am I gonna do next? I think I might do my sloths because I know what colour they're gonna be, and then I can kind of work out from there for everything else. So what have I got? Is that all the colours I've got for my sloths? I feel like I need another one. Yeah, there's another one. Sorry, I'm rattling around in my little pencil jar. So I have all the pencils that I'm using. Did I show you this already? This is just a little pot from, I think it was from Muji, that I use to keep the pencils that I'm working with on my desk, and kind of just pop them in there. Okay, so for my browns, for my sloths, I have dark umber, I have sepia, I have light umber, and I have camel. So those are the kind of browns that I'm going to be using for my sloth. So I'm going to make the face a little bit lighter, and then obviously the fur and everything. These aren't particularly realistic looking sloths, so I'm just going to keep them kind of fun and not worry too much about, you know, making them look realistic with fur strokes and all that sort of stuff. We're just going to keep it simple. I like simple. Simple's good. I've got these pencils in the right order. Okay, I'm going to go around the head here a little bit. So cute. They're very, very cute. All of Lulu Mayo's little creatures are just adorable. I see her new book. Well, it was available. I saw it, and it was available in French on my Amazon here in the UAE. I don't know whether it's available in the English edition yet. I don't know. It was going to take a couple of weeks. That is one I haven't ordered. See, I'm being more measured. I have got quite a few Lulu Mayo books. I can't say that then, Lulu Mayo books. And this one was uncoloured until now. And the other one that is uncoloured, I can't remember what it was now. But I have got another uncoloured one as well. A Million Unicorns. So yeah, I have two already uncoloured, and I really don't need to be buying anymore. So I haven't pre-ordered it, even though it does look super cute. And at some point I probably will end up going, oh, I need that. I feel like I've done that in the wrong order. So yeah, that's where we're at with the Lulu Mayos. But yeah, her little creatures are adorable. Oh my gosh, another interruption. Sorry, right. Yeah, Lulu Mayo's books, gorgeous, so cute. I really love her work. And they're kind of just, like I say, they're kind of fun and relaxing. You don't have to be overly realistic with them, so I really like that. Sometimes it's nice to have kind of just a couple of fun pages in between some that are a little bit more taxing, require a little bit more effort. Yeah. Okay. That's quite a good colour for them. Oh, I feel like I'm breaking my pencils. So I'm just going to use 3 darker colours on the kind of fur, and then on the face I'll use the lighter one. But yeah, I'm not going to worry about like fur strokes and trying to make them look ultra realistic, because they are little kind of cartoony character sloths anyway. So I think they're so sweet though. I think their eyes are darker as well, so I'll have to do the little patch around their eyes a little bit darker. I do like to burnish my pages, so I tend to kind of try and go over it until it looks like it's completely burnished. You don't have to do that. It's just something that I prefer the look of, so that's what I do. Okay, another interruption. Sorry. Okay, let's do the little eyes here. I don't want to make them too dark because I want to be able to see the kind of little expression in the eyes, but I want them to be darker than the rest of the face. Oh, goodness. My pencil. These 2 browns are actually very similar. The sepia and the dark umber, was it? Yeah, they're quite similar. Oh, and I'm breaking them. Can you hear them break? Like I say, I'm quite heavy-handed. I try not to be, but I just can't help myself sometimes. And the points of the pencils go flying off in all directions. Okay. So for the rest of the face, I'm going to use the 2 lightest colours. So the, what was this one? Light umber and the camel, to kind of add some shading. I'm kind of just going to go around the outside a little bit with the darker one. Just to add a little bit of that shadow around the edge, and then go in with the camel, and it just broke again. Go in with the camel to blend that out. I think that works quite sweet. Push that away a bit and try and just smooth that out a little bit. Okay, so that's the one little sloth done. I'll do the other one down here as well, same way, same colours. Clinging onto the side of the teapot is so cute. So I think for my whales, I was debating whether to do them grey, but I think I'm actually going to do them blue, just because I don't really want to bring in any more colours. So I'll do them the same blue as I've used for the teapot over here, and yeah, they can be blue whales, tiny blue whales inside a teapot. But yeah, I just figured to try and reduce the number of pencils. I tend to like having limited color palettes. I just feel like they work a little bit better. They look a little bit more cohesive. So I do try and bring colors through in various parts of the page so that I don't have to introduce more colors. Again, that's just my preference. I don't think there's any hard and fast rule. You can do what you like. But for me, it also just kind of takes the it takes less effort. I guess maybe I'm a lazy colorist, but yeah, it kind of, I don't have to think about multiple combinations of pencils. I can just reuse what I've already got on the page in various areas. And yeah, and it just, for me, it works nicely. I like doing that. Like I say, it kind of makes life a little bit easier. I don't have to stress too much. Not that it's not stressful. You know what I mean? It just makes life easy. Simple. So I'm all for making my colouring as simple and stress-free as possible, because it is about having fun and enjoying. And so yeah, it's something that I like to do. But again, I've seen other colourists that use multiple colours, like all over the place, and it turns out looking absolutely beautiful. So it's not a hard and fast rule by any stretch of the imagination, but for me, it seems to work. So I kind of stick with what I know. Okay, do his little eyes. Darker colours for those. His face is a little bit smaller, so I don't want to add too much. Just a touch. I'll use this light umber just to add a little bit of shadow around his face. And then the camel. Okay, that's quite sweet. I might at some point come back and add a little cheek to them, but for now I'll leave it at that. Yeah, they look kind of cute. Again, I don't know what colour bow to do, so that'll be something. I feel like I'm leaving everything. So I might move on to my whales, since I know that I want them to be dark blue. So I'll do them next. So I'm just using the same blue combinations that I use for the teapot. I've got French ultramarine, manganese blue, light cerulean blue, and pastel blue. And we'll just do our little whales in these colours. And then I think I'll do the water, because I know that I want that to be kind of a bit of a tealy coloured blue. Finding it quite hard to like do this so that I'm not moving the page around. it's definitely a different approach for me. Okay, I'm hoping this is going to look okay. I mean, I know whales aren't, even blue whales aren't really blue, but it's okay. These ones can be. Really lighten that up towards the top. Okay. So when I go on with my lightest colour, I do kind of press quite firmly to burnish the page, and also just to try and blend the other colours out a little bit better so that they go a bit smoother. I don't feel like I've done a very good job of making that nice and smooth, but I think it's probably the best I'm going to get at this point. So there's one done. Looks like there's like I think there's like one hidden behind here and his tail hidden behind there, but it does look a bit odd, like he's kind of been cut in half and separated. And they're so cute. I really like them. I'm hoping this page will pull off because it's such a fun page. I've actually been eyeing up this page for quite a long time, thinking, oh, I should do that one because it's really cute. And I just haven't gotten around to it and kind of put it off and put it off. So I'm really happy that Nikki wanted to do a buddy colour with me in this book. Otherwise, it may have been sat there untouched for even longer. And this is my first page in May, so it's a good page to start with, a page in an untouched book. It's a good way to start the month. I have a page that I am both dreading and really looking forward to doing, and that is the waterfall book library page from Worlds Within Worlds by Kobe Rozannes. That's another page that I have constantly looked at and thought, oh, I'd really like to do that, but I've put it off and put it off because there's a lot of water, B, a lot of books, a lot of small details, and kind of been a little bit nervous about it. And but I am doing that with as a buddy colour with Crafty Claire, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. I'm also just a little bit kind of like apprehensive about how I'm going to approach it and how long it's going to take me, and yeah, trying to do a good job of it. I have some ideas of how I want it to look, but I'm just not sure whether whether I can pull them off. I really hope I can because it's such a cool page. That whole book is amazing, and I would really like to do a lot more in it. I think I've only done one. Yeah, I've only done one page in that book, and it's such a shame. I've had the book for years, and I haven't done more, and I'm kind of annoyed at myself with that because I do really love the book. So I'll be happy to get another page done. Yeah, and just kind of get stuck in, and maybe once I've kind of done a second page, I'll feel more confident about doing more in that book. I do find Kirby's books a little bit intimidating, but his artwork is amazing, and I really, really love the way that the pages look when they're finished. Okay, there's whale number 3, and I just have this little kind of tail to do back here now. Just kind of look like these two are kind of have been separated, but yeah, I think they're just hiding behind the little teapot. I'd love to get into the imaginations of some of these artists and figure out where they get their inspiration from, because their pages are so fun. Like Kobe Rozannes is a great example. His pages are amazing, and I love his imagination and how he's come up with his ideas. I just, yeah, really, really cool. Okay, Yeah, so let's do the water and see how that's going to look. Remember the colours that I've got for the water. I think I've only got 3 colours for the water, have I? I've got 4. Those are all greens. Yeah, I think it's just the 3. So, sorry for rattling around there. I have ocean green, I have jade blue, and I have light aqua. So these are the kind of 3 colours that I've got for my water. I'm hoping that I can make it work. So I think the easiest way is just kind of going to be a bit darker around the outside, and then I'll put some darker patches on the inside as well. I'm trying to be light-handed. I really am. It's something that I do struggle with a bit. I kind of wanted to go with a more tealy kind of aqua-y coloured water rather than blue, because I had the blue teapot. I'm hoping this is going to work. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm a bit nervous. I'm going to do some darker patches in there where these kind of little lines are as well. Yeah, let's hope it's going to look okay. Oh, there goes the pencil lead. Oh my goodness, every time. Even when I'm trying to be light, look, it just breaks off. I should probably turn my pencils a bit more as I'm working with them. It's something I don't do. I kind of get into a groove of holding them a certain way, and then, yeah, I don't turn them. And obviously, you know, if you're putting pressure on the same point the whole time, it's going to get thinner and thinner. So maybe if I turned it a little bit more, it would be better. But, you know, yeah, I just never remember. See? I feel like, oh, I don't know, I feel like I'm not getting much difference between the darker and the lighter colours here. Like it all kind of looks too samey. I don't know. Not sure how I'm feeling about this. Don't know. I feel like it's too samey. Maybe if I go back in with the darker colour, just go a little bit darker around the edges. Press a little bit firmer. Hopefully that will help. Deepen it up a little bit. Okay, that looks a bit better, a little bit better. Go with that mid one again. Okay, I think by the time I add some white Posca detail over all of this, it's going to look fine. So that's okay. It's not too bad. I'm just going to take a swig of water because I'm getting a bit of a dry throat. Okay, let's do the same for all those little windows then. I'm hoping that's okay. Oh, I'm doubting myself now. I don't know. I'd love to know as well how you shade, whether you do things like I do, so you start with the darkest color and then kind of go out towards the lightest, or whether you do a base layer with the lightest color. I know quite a few colorists do that. They do kind of like just a light layer of the lightest color all over and then blend out with the darker ones, add the dark ones where they want the shadows. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of the way that I've always done it, and I feel comfortable doing it like this, but I'm not sure it's the correct way. Is there a correct way? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter as long as you're enjoying the process, eh? yeah, I've seen other, and I know other people do my layering techniques, which I have tried a few times, and I am getting better with it. But I am quite an impatient person. I don't like to spend hours and hours on the, kind of getting something looking exactly perfect. I mean, I like things to look good, and I do try my best, but I'm not gonna kind of stress if it's not perfect. Some people just, like, I don't know, they seem to make it work really, really well. All the different layers, and yeah, they get a nice result. I don't know. Maybe I just need to practice more with it. But like I say, I'm just a little bit too, I want results. I want a finished page. Okay, I think I'm liking this. I do feel like it's maybe a little bit darker than I wanted to go, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think, like I say, once I add some white details on here, with some Posca pen, I'll probably use Posca since I'm having to go over pencil, and I find that gel pen really doesn't want to work over pencils. So I'll probably use Posca to add some white details here and there, and I think it will probably look all right once I've done that. Okay, I think it's okay. Kind of gives the look of quite a lot of depth, I suppose. Oh, I'm rushing a bit too much there. See, I told you I'm like, I'm not patient at all, which is probably not a good thing for a colorist, really. Patience and going slowly is probably the better method. I think it's going to look okay. Okay, and then still debating those flowers. What do I want to do with those flowers? Oh, I've got to do the waves. I don't know. I really don't know what I want to do with those flowers. Do I want to do them turquoise? I don't know. Decisions. Maybe I should bring another colour out. Just not sure. Maybe I'll go on to doing some leaves first. And then the bow for the sloth, do I do that yellow so it kind of stands out a bit? Or do I do it turquoise so it ties in with the water? It's like, yeah. They're not really big decisions in the scheme of things, but it's like these things are always playing in my mind as I'm coloring, and I'm thinking, I'm looking at the page as I'm going, and I'm kind of thinking, well, what am I going to do there? And sometimes I'll go into a page and I'll have it all planned out, and I'll know exactly where I want to put my colors, and it's really easy. And I like doing pages like that. Sometimes it's a bit like this. I kind of know roughly what I want to do, but I'm not 100% sure on all the details. So it kind of builds as I go along. So I think yeah, let's try it. Let's try and do them turquoise while I've got them here. I don't know if it's too green though. Maybe I should do them blue. Maybe I should do them blue. I feel like this is a bit too green. Just going to rub that a little bit out there. Should I do them blue? Okay, I'm going to put the turquoise down for now. I'm going to pull out my yellow. And the same yellows, I'm going to do the little scarf on my, or the headband on my little sloth here. Might as well. Might as well be all yellow and colourful and bright. And then I'm still going to debate those flowers. I think that turquoise is going to be too green for the flowers. I don't think it's going to look quite right. So, yeah, what do I do? What do I do? Do I do them blue? Is that going to end up having too much blue on the page? Do I go with a different colour? I'm really not sure. Okay, well, I think I'm going to go. I'm just going to dive in. I'm going to go and make these flowers yellow. So let's do that. So I'm going to have them kind of darker at the bottom and lighter at the top with these ones. And I just hope that this is going to work. I hope it's going to look okay. I like colouring flowers. I think they're some of my favourite things to colour. I don't think I'm particularly good at colouring flowers, but I like colouring them. So what was I was talking about something before I got interrupted. I can't remember what it was. It was like, yeah, about buying things. Anyway, so yeah, I ordered some Woomer pencils and some Artistro pencils. And then I saw there was a book that I had kind of had my eye on for quite a long time, and it went out of stock. And then I was like, oh, well, that's that. And then I saw it was back in stock. So I did order that as well. And it's a book called Nature Unfold. And it's by, who's it by? Oh my goodness, the name has gone completely out of my head. Yeah, I've completely lost it. But it looks really, really cute. Shell from Shell's Colouring Journey did a lovely flip through of the book on her channel, as have quite a few other people. And it's really just really pretty, kind of, as the name would suggest, nature, kind of woodland type. Yeah, quite cute little images, like log cabins and just, yeah, there's all sorts. So I kind of, yeah, I ordered that. I don't know that I need it, but I thought it looked really cute. So I thought, well, I might as well. And I think it's going to take a couple of weeks to get here because it's shipping from Germany. So it's going to take a little while to get here. But I am quite looking forward to getting that one and seeing what it's like. Yeah, so I did order that one. And as I say, I've got the mythographic dragon spell on the way. I am really looking forward to getting that one as well. I have a buddy colour kind of tentatively planned if my book arrives on time with Lauren Reed Colour. So yeah, if it arrives in time, we've got a page that Lauren really wanted to do for Mermaid, which is, I don't know if you've seen the book, but if you have, there's like this kind of mermaid dragon hybrid, mermaid dragon woman hybrid, kind of coming out of the water, and then there's like a night, kind of a night looking character that they're kind of embracing in this beautiful kind of seaside scene. And so Lauren is planning on doing that, and I said, well, if my book arrives in time, I'd love to do it with you. but yeah, we'll have to see. Like I say, I pre-ordered it, and it's been sitting there for the last couple of days. The pre-orders have finished. It's now available. It's going to be shipping. I think again, it's shipping from possibly Germany or the United States. So it's not like available in country, but I still haven't had any notification from Amazon about when they're going to deliver it. So I am waiting and hoping that it will come soon. I don't know whether to cancel my pre-order and just reorder it, or whether to wait and give Amazon the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I've decided I'm going to do them blue. Whether that's the right decision or not is another question, but we'll give it a go. So for these ones, I'm going to do them kind of darker on the outside of the flower petal and lighter towards the center. So yeah, I'll have 2 new uncolored books in my collection, but hopefully not uncolored for long. So I do really want to do that Dragon Spell, the mythographic Dragon Spell. I really want to do that page with Lauren, and the World on Nature book. I'm not sure if I'll get to it in May, but I would really like to get to it in June. So I'm hoping they won't stay uncolored for too long. And I am slowly kind of ticking off my uncolored books. I have made a good dent in them this year. I have still got quite a few. Quite a few of my Japanese Tokumeku series are still uncolored, so I really need to try and remedy that somehow and do some pages in those books. So yeah, I might have to try and plan my time with those books a little bit. We'll see how it goes. So yeah. And I also have a couple of other Japanese books that I've ordered from Amazon Japan, which are uncolored. I have a couple of Aikawa Sora books, which I really, really wanted, and I do love them. And they're some of the books that I really do enjoy flipping through and seeing all the possibilities, but I'm always a little bit nervous about actually starting. But those books are gorgeous, so I would quite like to do a page or 2 in each of those. Yeah, so there's still a good pile of untouched books that I would like to get to, but it is slowly dwindling. I haven't actually done a physical count yet. I think I'm planning on doing kind of like a mid-year review, if I can, to kind of have a look at the goals that I set myself at the start of the year. I didn't have very many. I think one was to try and do more double page spreads. I've only done 1 so far this year, so that is something that I really need to do more of. Perhaps this month I've got an idea for a page in Atlantis by Hannah Carlson, Tales from Atlantis, so perhaps I can work on that and try and get that done. Yeah, I don't know. Double page spreads kind of terrify me a little bit, and they shouldn't, because it's just like doing any other page. They really shouldn't be that much of an issue, but I do find them a little bit intimidating. I've done a few, but I just haven't done many. The only one I have done is in Kebi Rosan's Fragile Worlds, which was the kind of pandas page, and I hadn't really intended to do that page, but I just thought, oh well, I'll just dive in and do it. And sometimes that's the best way with me, not to think about things too much and just kind of do it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm doing it. It's great and it's fine. Sometimes if I overthink things, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's going to be so hard. It's going to take so long. You look at all the details. And I overthink it and kind of talk myself out of it. So, yeah, I feel like sometimes if I just kind of don't think about it too much and just kind of dive in, it's really not so bad. And actually, every double page spread I've ever done, I've kind of been like, oh, well, that actually wasn't so bad. I don't know what I was worried about. So I just need to be a little bit more, a little bit more spontaneous maybe, and then I won't have to I won't have time to talk myself out of stuff. Yeah, there was a double page in this book that I was looking at, and I sent it as a possibility to Nikki. So I gave her 3 choices for the page that we did in this book, and she chose this one. Okay, sorry, got interrupted again. Yeah, my daughter is currently studying for her GCSEs, so she wanted to show me what she'd been doing, which is great because she is working really, really hard, and I'm very, very proud of her. And yeah, I know it's a pretty stressful time of year for these kids, so yeah, I'm grateful that she's so organized, and yeah, I have complete confidence in her that she's going to do well. So yeah, she just wanted to show me all the things that she'd been doing, so I was really proud of her. Okay, so I think that's going to look okay. I think that's going to look quite sweet, actually. I like the way the teapots are kind of popping off the page. The background is quite nice and muted. Yeah, I think it's going to look kind of sweet by the time it's finished, hopefully. I hope you're not getting bored of watching me colour this page. I never quite know what to do, whether to do like speed it up and not talk over it and just have music, or whether it's better to see the whole thing and watch me do it from start to finish, whether I should just do like one, like say just one flower and then colour the rest off screen and not kind of bore you with showing you the same thing over and over again. So do let me know what you think is best. I'm never quite 100% sure what works well for other people, and it is always hard to kind of please everybody, but if there's a clear kind of consensus about what people prefer to see, then I will definitely do that. So if you'd prefer to see like a shorter video that's sped up with less talking and more kind of just coloring, let me know. If you prefer it like this and you like to see every little thing and hear me jabber on about all sorts of rubbish, then I will do it that way. I am worried that I'm going to run out of things to talk about. So hopefully I am quite a talkative person, so hopefully I'll find things to talk about. But yeah, I really don't know what people want to see. I know when I'm watching, the kind of videos that I prefer to watch are like chatty kind of whips, or yeah, I don't. In all honesty, I don't follow too many color alongs. I do follow a few, and I do find them really, really helpful when I do, but I will normally just have them on kind of as a little bit of background while I'm doing a page, or I will take elements from the color along and use them, but not do the whole thing exactly the same. There have been a few exceptions, and sometimes I find it as a really good way to start a book, like an untouched book. If you've got an untouched book and you're kind of a little bit like me, and sometimes you can get a little bit apprehensive about how you're going to approach a page and how it's going to work. Sometimes following a color along for me is the best way of kind of diving in and starting a book. I know I did that with Rita Berman's Africa book. I used a colour along from Karen by My Colourful Country Life, and I followed it exactly to the T, just because I liked the way she had done it. I liked her colours, and B, just because I really didn't have any ideas of my own and was really struggling and wanted to make a start in the book, but just kind of didn't know where to begin. And I just found that it was a nice way to ease myself into the book, and it's just also a little bit of a kind of comfort blanket, if you like. Like starting a book, often the first page is the hardest, isn't it? Because you're kind of like, oh, I really don't know what I'm going to do, and especially if it's a book you really like, you're worried about messing up. So it's kind of like a comfort blanket to just be able to follow somebody else and do a page that is going to turn out looking good, and then once you've kind of got that first page done, you feel a little bit more confident about diving in and tackling a page yourself. So those are the sort of things that I use colour alongs for, but often just to have a little bit of something on while I'm colouring my own page. And like I say, I might take ideas from it. Oh, that's a really cool colour combination. I'll note that down. I might be able to use that somewhere else. Just things like that. But yeah, let me know what works for you, what you like to see, what you don't like to see. What Yeah, just what makes sense for you. And like I say, it's often quite hard to please everybody and make it something that works for everybody. But I will do my best to please the majority, if that makes sense. But yeah, let me know what you like to see. I feel like I talk a lot of rubbish sometimes. But that could be, I don't know, that could be distracting in itself, couldn't it? But yeah, it's kind of just nice to have a little space to come and just chat, mostly about colouring, because it's a hobby that I really enjoy. It's a hobby that not many people in my family really get. So I don't really have anybody in my family to discuss it with, because yeah, it's not something that any of my children are that interested in, and my husband definitely isn't. He's supportive, like he doesn't mind that I do it. He just, I think he kind of struggles to see the fascination in it. So, um, and that's fine. He has hobbies that I'm like, not something that I'd like to do. Well, so his main hobby is riding bikes, cycling, and my whole family is kind of into that. So I'm a little bit outnumbered, to be honest. But yeah, it's all good. Um, and I do actually enjoy the cycling, and I enjoy watching, cycling like Tour de France and stuff like that on TV, and I get quite into it, and the whole family joins in, and it's a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, colouring, yeah, nobody nobody really gets it. So I'm a little bit on my own with the colouring. So it's kind of nice to have a space where I can come and chat about things, talk about the things that I'm doing, that I'm excited about, products that I've been buying that I probably shouldn't. But I know that everybody out there who's kind of watching these things will get it, because we're all probably similar in that respect. And it's nice to have that space. It's like I say, there's not really many people in my real everyday life where I'm actually interacting with people that want to hear about. Oh, I just bought this new book. They'll be like, "What?" So yeah, it's nice to have that space to come and talk about stuff like this. So yeah. And I know that you'll get my excitement when I talk about new pencils and new books or new colouring supplies or a new pencil sharpener. Like, most other people just like, what? Are you getting excited about a pencil sharpener? So, actually, I haven't bought a new pencil sharpener for ages. I'm quite happy with my Dahl 133. I really like it. That's a really good little pencil sharpener. And actually, my other favourite pencil sharpener is just a little it's a little metal Stedler, like manual one that I got years ago, and it still seems to be working. I probably need to invest in a new one, or at least get a new blade for it, because I imagine the blades will get blunt after time. But it's it still works pretty well at the moment, so that's been a good little pencil sharpener. But yeah, my Dahl 133, my kind of this little guy sits on my desk. It's been a lifesaver. I really, really like this one. I haven't got an electric sharpener. I know a lot of people like the electric sharpeners. I haven't got one. I'm always a little bit terrified that they're going to chew up my pencils. At least with the Dahl, I have a little bit more control over it. But yeah, I'm always scared that an electric one is just going to eat my pencils, and I'm a little bit paranoid about stuff like that. But if you've got any recommendations for pencil sharpeners, do let me know, because you can never have too many pencil sharpeners, can you? Especially not when you've got too many pencils like I have. So yeah, if you've got any recommendations, do let me know. I did buy one of those Teagal sharpeners, don't know if I've got it on my desk here. I don't think I have. I don't know where I've put it now. I have to dig it out. The one that's got a little dial. It's like a little it's only like that big. It's a little manual sharpener. It's got the little dial so you can change the length of the point of your pencil. And it's been okay. I'm not like loving it. I use it occasionally, but mostly if I'm kind of traveling, I'll take a little smaller pencil sharpener with me. But yeah, it's not my favorite go-to pencil sharpener. Generally, it's my Dart 133 that I use all the time, and then if, like, for example, if I'm traveling, I'll take a smaller sharpener to use, like my little Stedler one. And so, yeah, they're all good. Actually, this little one has been quite good. This little Milan, it's got like an eraser which has been used up, down one end, and then a little sharpener at the other end. I can get it open. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, this one's actually been quite good. It's quite cheap. I'm gonna have to see if I can find another one again, because it's actually been a really good little sharpener, and it kind of holds the shavings inside. It's only kind of small, but it's quite a good one for traveling. So I should see if I can find another one of those, because it's been quite good. But yeah, see, these are the kind of conversations that I cannot have with anybody else. I know this is a very one-sided conversation because it's me talking at you, but yeah, it's nice to be able to talk about stuff that nobody else really gets. And yeah, I think I just get looked at strangely if I tried to bring up pencil sharpeners with my other friends. I mean, they all know that I'm into various hobbies like colouring, and when I was doing my card making a lot, I was doing a lot of card making, and actually quite a few of them were really supportive with the card making, and they'd like I'd give them cards to use, and they always asked for more, and they always really liked them, so that was really nice. Everybody's very supportive, but yeah, they kind of don't get the hype. They don't get why I'm so into it. I do have a friend who's quite into like cross stitch and stitching, so I do a bit of that. I don't do a huge amount. I used to do a lot more. I don't do tons of it, but I do a bit, and yeah, it's nice to have somebody to talk to about stuff like that, where you get your patterns from, where you get your materials from. Yeah, it can be quite fun. Okay, so there's my flowers. I think that's looking okay. Yeah, I quite like it. I like the blue and the yellow. It's a nice combination. So the leaves, I've left the feet down here for a specific purpose, because I have an idea in mind. I'm still on the fence about it, so that's why I'm leaving the little legs of the teapot at the moment. Okay, time to pull out some greens, I think. I do have quite a bunch of greens. Got another one in here somewhere. Or is it just the 4? I think maybe it was just the 4. Yeah, okay. So I've got 4 green pencils here. So I have dark green, I have grass green, I have pea green, and I have pale green. So these are the 4 greens that I'm going to try and use. I have some ideas for the other leaves up here as well. I might do something a little bit different with those. Again, I'm kind of thinking about this as I go. So I haven't got a definite plan in mind. I'm just kind of winging things a little bit, and as I say, ideas are coming to me as I'm colouring, and I'm thinking about them as I'm colouring and chatting, and kind of mulling over ideas in my head, and thinking about what I like and what I think is gonna work for the page, and trying to plan it out a little bit in my head. Oh, there goes another end. And yeah, and then kind of sharing it with you once I've kind of made a decision. So one of the things I'm thinking about is using some gold pen for the stripes and the legs of the teapot, which is why I've left the legs of the teapot. The other is to use some kind of either glittery gel pens, and or maybe like hoo glitter gel pens, or some what are they called now? Super golden markers for some of the leaves to add a little bit of shine and stuff to my page. So those are all ideas that I'm kind of kicking around in my mind as I'm colouring and thinking about. Yeah, like I say, sometimes my process is super easy and I have an absolute idea of how I want a page to look, and I know exactly what I want to do, and I literally can just start. I generally, before I start a page, I'll think about a color palette. So that's generally the first thing that I do. And like I say, sometimes like with this one, I'll have a color palette in mind and I'll know the kind of colors that I want to use, but I won't know specifically where and how I'm going to use those colors. I'll just kind of think about it as I go. For other pages, I know exactly where each color is going to go. I have it all planned out and I know exactly how and where I'm going to place my colors. So it depends. I generally have some sort of a plan before I start a page, but how detailed that plan is very dependent on the page. And like I say, sometimes I have a really, really definite idea, and others it's kind of just like I want to do this, but I'm not 100% sure where I'm gonna put my colors, which is what has happened with this page. Generally speaking, the pages where I don't have a definite plan tend to be the ones that either work out really, really well or don't work out particularly well at all. So it can be really hit and miss. I always hope for the best, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. But yeah, I'm hoping this one's going to turn out okay. I don't know. I feel like it needs something though. I feel like the page needs something else, because I feel like at the moment it's a little bit, it's okay, but it's maybe lacking something. I don't know what. Which is why I'm thinking some glitter gel pens might be a good idea to use, just to add a little pop of something extra to the page. And it's kind of, like Lulu Mayo pages kind of lend themselves to lots of glittery, sparkly stuff because they're fun little pages and they're so sweet. And yeah, so using some glitter on them and some sparkle can kind of really bring out the playful side of these pages. So I think they work quite well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. I don't know whether to do all of these leaves with like glittery markers or whether that's going to be too much. Maybe I should do some of them in green, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to do some of them in green and then some of them in some sparkly markers. That's kind of the way I'm thinking at the moment. So I think I'm probably going to use the same green combination for a few different leaves up here. Maybe some of these ones, because they all look quite similar, maybe I'll use the greens for those ones and then just do these ones kind of sparkly. And I think I'll still do them a green kind of sparkly color rather than bringing in a different color. I think that's the way I'm going to go. It's like decisions as I work it through my page. But yeah, these are the kind of things that I think about as I'm going. If I haven't got a definite kind of, yeah, this is where this color is going to go plan. But like I say, sometimes I'll really have a very strong idea, and it can change. It's not like set in stone, but sometimes I'll just have a really clear idea of where my colors are going to go and how it's going to look. And yeah, it's literally just then super easy. I've got all the colors out. I know exactly where they're going to go. And it's just a case of coloring the page and not having to make any decisions as I'm going. But then sometimes it's kind of fun to wing it a little bit and kind of, make decisions on the go, which is what I'm doing with this page. And I'm hoping it's going to turn out okay. Okay, so there's my kind of all the bits of my teapot done. And again, sometimes like pages can look a little bit flat until you add like white details and, you know, all the kind of little finishing touches. They can kind of really help bring a page to life. So, you know, sometimes you kind of just got to push through the awkward phases of a page and find that actually in the end it does turn out quite nicely. Not always, but you know, it does help definitely. Adding little extra details can really pull a page together. I was watching, who was I watching? I think it was Erica from Elm Colours, and she was doing a page in a mythographic, and she was saying she just couldn't get the background the way she wanted. I thought the background looked amazing, but she was saying that she couldn't quite get it to go the way she wanted. And so in the end, what she did was took her white Posca to it and just added loads of white Posca dots all over. And it really did kind of bring the whole page to life. It was like a galaxy background, and it just really made it. And I mean, like I say, I thought it kind of looked quite amazing anyway. And then she was like, "Yeah, and you know, there you go. It just works." So sometimes it is just a case of pushing through and hoping for the best, and eventually it will turn out to be the way you want it to. Okay, so I think I am going to just do these little leaves in green as well. Well, I've got them here. So these ones I didn't really bother kind of rubbing the chalk pastel out of, so I might kind of show a little bit of that colour through, but I'm hoping it's not going to be too noticeable. They're quite pale colours, so I'm hoping the pencil will be enough to colour over them. I feel like this video is really long. I might end up cutting some of it and just showing you like one flower, one set of leaves, just so it doesn't make it too long and boring. But yeah, like I say, tell me what you prefer to see. Do you prefer to see everything in every little detail, or do you prefer it to be sped up? Would you prefer it to not have me talking at all and just have music over it? I always struggle with the music because it's always like copyrighted. I don't know, I don't know how other colorists do it, whether they kind of have to buy the music. I don't know. Should look into that a little bit more, shouldn't I? But yeah, whether you just want, yeah, you'd rather just have music, do let me know, because I would like to. I'd like to do what people prefer rather than just kind of rabbiting on, and maybe people would get annoyed with me. Because I know, like, I'm always also very conscious that people only have a certain amount of time to watch videos. Like, you know, we've all got busy lives, we've all got other things that we need to get done, and watching YouTube videos is, you know, pretty low on the priority for most people. And when they do have time to do that, it's kind of like precious time. It's leisure time where, you know, that's why I think it's kind of really special that people do watch and tune in, because I realize, you know, how many pressures people have on them for their time and to do other things. So I'm always really, really grateful that people do watch and take the time to leave comments. And yeah, that is really quite amazing, because like I say, I know how hard it is to find time to do something for yourself and take some time to just, yeah, pursue your own hobby. And yeah, so it is kind of like quite special, I think, that people want to watch. watch my videos and take the time to do that. I am always very grateful, and like I said, I'd like to kind of cater to my viewers and produce things that you prefer to watch rather than stuff that you maybe don't really want to. So I hope that's making sense. Okay. Leaves are another thing I like to colour because I find them really just simple and straightforward. Especially leaves like this. They're just, yeah, nice and easy. They don't take too much thought process. Make them a little bit darker at the base, a little bit lighter at the tip, and yeah, you're good to go. There's a few books that I really want to try and do more in, and every month I think I should do something in those books, but they get put on the back burner because other things come up. And yeah, Hannah Cowles on books is definitely one of them. In fact, I'm pretty sure that was one of my goals for the year, was to work more on my Hannah Cowles on books, and I have done more. But I didn't do any last month, and I would really like to do one this month. So I have got that idea for a page in Tales from Atlantis. So I'm hoping I do get to that one. So Hannah Carlson is one. Johanna Basford is another, and I have definitely been better at doing pages in Johanna Basford's books. I've got Magical Worlds now, and I've done 4 pages of Magical Worlds, which is really, really good for me, and definitely a step up from, I think I barely touched her last year. And it's not that I don't like her books, because I do love them, but I find a lot of the white space quite intimidating in her colouring books, and yeah, I would really like to do more in those. But one of my favourite Johanna Basford books is World of Flowers, and I know that she's bringing out another flowers book this year. She's bringing out Wildflower book. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it's Wildflowers. So I'm really looking forward to that book. I'm quite excited about it. I really hope it's gonna live up to my expectations. Yeah, so that will definitely be on my, well, I say definitely. I think it's probably one of those ones that I will just get straight up without having seen a flip through. I don't know if that's wise. Maybe I should wait for a flip through. But I am really excited about it, and she is an artist that I'd like to do a little bit more, and especially considering she's bringing out a new book, I'd like to do more pages in her book. Hannah Carlson's bringing out a Halloween book. I'm quite excited about that one as well. I love Tales from the Witch's Cottage. It's one of my favourite Hannah Carlson books. I've only done 2 pages in it, so I really want to do more. Yeah, the Halloween book, that's quite exciting. I think that's going to be a fun one. And I think it's probably one, it's a little bit like Godule. Her Christmas one that she brought out this year. I reckon you can probably do quite a few of the pages, not necessarily just at Halloween, but at other times of the year. So with Godule, there's plenty of pages in there that you could do at other times of the year, not just Christmas. So I reckon this Halloween book will probably be a little bit like that as well. And I'm very excited about it. I like that whole kind of topic, witches, mysticism. Yeah, that kind of appeals to me. So I'm quite excited about that one too. But like I say, I'd really like to do more in the existing books that I have, rather than just kind of diving in to new books. But yeah, it's finding the time. Like, there's just always so many books that I want to do. Erie is another artist that I'd like to do more in, Kanoko Agusa. And then it's, like, Erie's got so many books out. Kanoko Agusa's got several books out now. Johanna Basford's got so many books. Hannah Carlson's got so many books. And it's like, I want to work in them, but yeah, there's not enough time, not enough hours in the day. And of course, Kobe Rosan's has amazing work, and of course, my Graphics. So, you know, it's tough. It's tough trying to find the time to do all of them. Um, and they all appeal. They all really appeal. So every month, it's really hard to choose pages that I want to do. It's really hard because I really want to try and get to all of them, but it's just not always possible. Okay, sorry, I kept getting interrupted, so I took the decision to just go ahead and color all the leaves off camera while people were talking to me so that I could actually move on. So all the leaves are done. They're all done exactly the same way with the same colors, apart from these ones here, which I'm now going to do. So I've decided to pull out some Jelly Roll Stardust pens. This one is 729 and 727, and I'm just going to use them to kind of add some sparkle. I don't know if this is a good decision or not, but we'll find out. So I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of this. It's a slightly darker one, and then fill in the rest with the lighter one. And it will just add a little bit of sparkle to the page, a little bit of something different, a little bit of interest. Yeah, and we'll see how it works. I don't know that you're going to see much of a difference between the two colors, but hey, I'll know it's there. So I'm just going to do all the leaves like that, and I might just do most of this off camera as well, because this video is already over 2 hours long, I think. So people will be getting sick of me. So yeah, I might just end up I'll do this one on camera, and then I might just do all of the rest off camera. It'll be done exactly the same way, so you can, you know what I'm doing. It's nothing kind of groundbreaking, just a quick bit of jelly roll. I hope my pens behave. I always seem to have difficulty with jelly rolls. They seem to work for a little bit and then they decide to stop working, and yeah, it stresses me out. So I'm hoping that they're going to be okay. I'm trying to press really lightly. A lot of you have suggested just going in really, really gently, which is what I'm trying to do to keep the kind of roller ball and the pen working nice and smoothly. So I'm trying to keep that in mind, and that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, I always seem to struggle a little bit with gel pens. They're not my friends. They don't like me very much. But hopefully I will be able to get through all of these leaves. And like I say, I'm going to do them all the same, and I'm going to do them off camera so you don't have to suffer through this part, which is probably quite boring. But yeah, that is what they'll look like, with a little bit of shimmer and sparkle. So yeah, let's see how that works, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I finished that bit, and hopefully you can see that nice little sparkle and shine there on the leaves. I think that looks quite nice. And I'm going to just pull out my gold Signo gel pen now, and I'm going to add some gel pen details to my teapot. So this is just the Uniball gold. Mine is almost run out, but I have got a backup if I need it. So I'm just going to add this to the kind of stripes on my teapot, and onto the kind of little portholes around the windows into the whales there. And I think hopefully this will look quite nice. I think this Signo gold is my favorite gold gel pen. It's got a nice, yeah, it's a nice tone. It's not too yellow and it's not too kind of dark. It's kind of a nice gold. I might add this to the center of my flowers as well, maybe. Tie it all in together. Try and be careful not to smudge it as I go along. It is quite opaque, this gel pen, so I'm trying to be careful not to go over the black lines, because I do want the black lines to show up. obviously in the center of these little portholes. I'm not too worried about that, but kind of outer edges, but I'm not doing a great job in all honesty, but it's okay. I'll do that little kind of, I think that's meant to be a little star type thing. I'm not 100% sure what that is meant to be. I think you can see this okay. The light is starting to fade. It's late afternoon now. I started this yesterday, and now I did a little bit more in the morning, and now it's afternoon. I just keep getting interruptions. I haven't been able to sit at it for any kind of long stretch of time, but we're getting there. It's nearly done. I'm going to add gold to the little legs of the teapot as well. I think that's looking quite cute. And then the only thing really left after this is to add some white gel pen, or probably I'm going to use Posca, just some highlight details to everything. And then I think, well, I'm still debating about the ground area. Part of me does feel like it needs something a little bit more. The other part of me is like, I should just leave well enough alone and, you know, call it quits. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm also thinking about that as I'm colouring here. Hoping that inspiration will strike and I'll figure out what to do. I have an idea, but I'm just not sure how it's going to look and whether it's a good idea to try and pull it off or whether just to leave it. And my idea is to kind of add like wooden panels to make it look a bit like a wooden tabletop. But yeah, as I say, I don't know. I'm not sure. Sometimes, like in the past, I've done pages and I've been pretty happy with them, and then I've like decided, oh, I'll just do this one extra little bit, and ended up not liking it because it just took it a step too far. So I'm a little bit cautious about doing that. And about how it will look on the rest of the page, because as I say, I don't want to draw attention to the background. I want the foreground to be the star of the show, but I do just feel like it's a little bit lacking at the moment. I nearly did with the gel pen. And I think, yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. I do really like my yellow teapot. I think it turned out quite cute. Okay, so that's it for the gold. So again, we've got a little bit of sparkle and shine. Hopefully you can see that on the light reflected. My Posca pen is nearly dead. And I think it's still got a little bit of life left in it, but it's nearly on its way out. Served me well. I have got a couple of backups, but yeah, it's nearly done. Right, I just want to put some on without smearing the gel pen that I've put on. So I'm just going to add this in a few little places. I'm debating where to put it. I'm trying to be a little bit careful not to smear everything that I've put down already. I am sometimes a little bit too impatient and I don't leave the things to dry long enough. Kind of like, I'll put a little bit of my touch on my little sloth's arms here. Maybe a little bit. I don't think you're going to see it particularly well on the yellow anyway. Maybe a little bit on this guy's head. Never quite know if I'm doing the right thing. A little bit on here. I think I don't want to add too much more. I'm going to add a little bit around my kind of windows here, my portholes, I guess they are. Because I want it to look like glass, I'm going to add some little, it's running low. I'm going to add some little streaks to the glass in a couple of places. Then maybe I'll add some little bubbles in as well. Same on this one. And finally on this one. Okay, a few little bubbles dotted around. And I think I'll leave it at that for the gel pen. So quite a minimal amount of gel pen, or Posca rather. I could put some on the leaves, but I'm going to leave it. I don't want to add too much. But yeah, I still feel like this ground needs a bit of work. So what to do? I think I'm going to take my brown pencils out again that I used on my sloths. And for this, I am going to have to turn my page a little bit. Hopefully you can still see that. And I'm going to get a ruler actually. Now, where do I want to turn it to? Sorry, I'm going to try and keep it. I'll keep it this way. It might be easier. Make sure that's dry. I'm going to very lightly sketch in some lines with this brown pencil. Try and keep them roughly the same distance. I don't think they need to be perfect, but roughly the same kind of width apart. Yeah, I don't want them particularly straight, but that's okay as well. Okay. I'm nervous now that this is not going to work. Let's hope for the best. So I'm going to kind of just put some little lines down this way. Put one there. Put one there. Maybe put one there. Now if it's going to end up looking like a wooden table or whether it's going to look crazy weird, I don't know. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Let's add some kind of, oh, see now I just feel like I'm making a mess. That maybe I've messed things up completely, but we'll see. It might be okay. I'm going to add some kind of like texture lines to the, like you'd see in wood. Oh, I feel like I've messed it up. I suppose I could always rub it out. I've only gone it lightly. Do I persevere? Do I? I don't know. I feel like I have to go with it, and just kind of hope for the best. Is it gonna work? I don't know. What do you think? Sorry, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, so I'm not talking very much. Sorry, it's gone all quiet. Yeah, I'm in two minds about this at the moment. Um, Kind of part of me is regretting my decision. Part of me is thinking, oh, it'll work. It might be okay. So, I don't know. I got dark as well. Okay, well, still not sure it's great, but we'll live with it. Add some shading to everything and see how it goes. I don't know. Don't know if I've messed it up. Let's see. I'm really sorry. I'm hoping you can see that I'm trying to turn it a little bit so that I've got a better angle. Just move it up a little bit on my desk so there you can see it. I'm going to turn my lamp on because I feel like it's getting a little bit dark to see. I'm going to pull out all of my browns again. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. Just adding some rough kind of shading at this point, just hoping for the best. It might be okay, maybe. Add a little bit of shadow under the teapot in a minute as well. Help that I never really quite know how to colour wood to make it look realistic, so yeah. I'm chucking in some shading here and there and hoping for the best. I don't know, tell me what you think. Should I have left it? Did I do an okay job? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of shadow for my teapots under here. Okay. Make it look a little bit more grounded. I don't know. Am I just making a bigger mess? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I'm not loving it, but yeah. Oh well. It's not terrible. Probably not the best, but it's not terrible. Some lodges of colour. Doing this quite roughly, as you can see. More textured look in the wood, maybe. Smooth it out a little bit with the lightest colour. Hard to get into those edge pieces. I feel like I've completely ruined it. I don't know. I think it's okay. Definitely not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've made that worse or whether I've improved it. I think probably I've made it worse, but it's okay. We make mistakes sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. You have to tell me what you think. Whether it was a good idea to add that flooring in or whether it was a mistake. I don't know. I'm in two minds with it. But anyway, I'm calling it done. That's my page complete. Let's get rid of this. See, at least my other page is nice and clean and I don't have any mess on there. I'll get rid of that so you can see the page in all its glory. I might just zoom you out ever so slightly so you can get the full page in. Yes, that's a nice sparkle. You can probably see that better now that the lamp is on. Yeah, I think it turned out quite cute. Not amazing, but it's okay. I don't know. What do you think of my floor, my tabletop? I'm not sure. Not sure how I feel about that, but anyway, it's something. So I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed it. I'm really happy with my little teapot. I think it's turned out quite cute. Glad I went with the blue flowers rather than the turquoise. I think that would have looked a bit wrong. So the blue worked out quite nicely. Yeah, let me know. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way through, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.